Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first on the agenda is approve the minutes of November 4th as written. I'll move.
I'll second that.
Moved by McCurry, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. One absent. Miscellaneous motions moved to rescind paragraph 10 of November 4th, 2024 minutes. Meets moved to contribute $1,000 to the Leroy Christmas celebration with funds to come from Economic Development Loan Fund 115. Seconded by McCurry. Motion carried. I'll move.
I'll second that.
Moved by Knight, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next, we kind of thought that was going to be a possible issue, so. Move to contribute $1,000 to the Leroy Christmas celebration with funds to come from the general fund, community improvement, or courthouse general contractual line item.
Which one do you want to do? I need to put general fund.
I would say it's for the community. I don't know, I'd go community.
To me, it's community improvement maybe fits a little better.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Also move.
I'll second. Moved by Meeks, seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next, move to approve legal holidays for Coffee County employees during calendar year 2025 and New Year's Day 2026.
I guess everything's kind of where everybody thinks it'll work, apparently. So I'll move.
it's the same holidays we do every year, unless you guys want to change anything.
I'll move.
I'll second. Moved by Thompson, seconded by Knight. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next, move to approve paydays for Coffee County employees during calendar year 2025.
Those are the pay dates we've established now, going from the 16th to the 15th of each month,
Okay.
and then paid on the last day of the month.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Moved by McCurry, seconded by Meeks. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Move to approve memorandum designating a one personal day for 2025, calendar year 2025, as 2,088 working hours, 8 hours more than a regular calendar year.
Also move.
I'll second that.
Moved by Meeks, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. I believe that takes care of our miscellaneous motions.
Do you guys want to sign these real quick?
Um,
Or you want to wait?
Do we do Stan first or then River City?
River City first, and then Stan.
Okay.
Oh, no, Stan
Stan's
first.
Stan's
Yeah, he
first.
wanted to go
Okay.
first.
Burlington Mayor Stan Lukes, you're up, sir.
Hopefully I won't take much of your time. We went through the process of a hearing, a certified letter distribution to the owner of the property at 1120 Penobscot. It has been determined that it's an uninhabitable mobile home, and we're requesting a waiver of the landfill fees for our contractor to utilize the landfill and projects to be completed within the next 30 days.
So the city went to the individual, is that correct?
Yes, we've contacted the individual, a certified letter, they responded, they did not show up for the hearing. We did the condemnation hearing and authorized be demolished.
What area of town is that?
Penobscot's on the southwest,
Southwest.
just west of, or just west of the, street department.
Oh, okay.
I've talked with Rhonda, she was surprised I even stopped in to see her. She says, you guys take care of that, you guys do more than we do when it comes to
Okay.
demolishing properties.
I'd make that motion to,
I'd second that.
however it needs to be worded.
What's the location?
1120 Penobscot.
They're just gonna take the whole trailer and just.
Yep. It'll be a
Just clean it up.
nice flat piece of property with no obstructions.
So then, do you take possession of the property then, or what will happen?
There's a lien on the property
I
for
see.
the fees.
I see. Okay. Just curious what happens in a case like that.
Motion to waive landfill fees for the city of Burlington for location and structure at 1120 Penobscot, Burlington. Moved by McCray, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion passes.
That's all I had, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, River City.
Here, you can do one too.
Oh, okay.
You can make it as quick as you want.
River City.
More literature. Tom couldn't join us
Nope,
today.
he's not gonna be here. They had a doctor's appointment. They said they can do him on Tuesday. He's like, well, that's great. And then he realized that
Yesterday was a holiday. Right. As you can see out there this morning, things are, kind of jam-packed out on the Osho Street. We've got delivery of the mod backs for the steel cells. Steel shells will be showing up on Thursday and getting installed. They're finishing up on the exterior of the building. They're finishing up the brick on the Sally Port. They get finished with that tomorrow. They're gonna move to, those little bump outs you see on the west side and the north side. There's some brick up on the roof there they gotta get done. Once they get that done, all the brick on the exterior will be completed. We get that done next week. We'll move into finishing up the roof on those bump outs and then starting some of the parapet cap. Get this thing sealed up. Along with that too, we've got windows starting next Wednesday. Exterior windows where we can. You see we've got some temp openings like where the plywood is on those windows. We'll leave those out to the end of the job and then put those in. Level 2 up in county offices and the staff areas, that ongoing in-wall rough-in should be finished up today. They're doing some sheetrock top out, and then they'll start their above ceiling rough-ins, running ductwork, all their electrical and plumbing. Once all that gets done, we'll move into starting sheetrock on the second floor and then follow down onto the first floor.
A lot of X's moving across to the right side of the page.
What's
A
that?
lot of X's moving across to the right side of the page.
It's, finishing up some areas, and some areas are just starting to get really busy. So, we're really attacking the second floor first, get that done, start sheetrock up there, and then we'll work our way out of the door, out of the building. So don't finish first floor first, and then try to track all that mud up through finished area up to second floor, so.
Do it once, do it right.
That's right. But like I said, cells are coming Thursday. It's gonna be busy out there on the Osho Street. I mean, we'll do one truck at a time, try to do one truck at a time, but they'll pick them off the truck and set them on that temporary slab you see on the east side, and then wheel them in. So, just give everybody a heads up. They'll be completed by the end of the day Thursday. So, hopefully we won't have to jam traffic too much. So, once they get that done, once they get the cell set, they'll start. There's 2 more angled walls that, excuse me, that go in to separate pods A, B, and C. They'll start those masonry walls on the interior, and once they get those done, completed, we'll be, hopefully all the masonry will be done. All of it just piddly stuff. But
Now, do you bring in more people for Thursday, or have you got the personnel on hand?
they're on site right
I
now.
was just curious.
there'll be a couple people, like those mod backs you see showed up today.
Yes.
That's actually Baker Group that makes those. They'll have a couple guys here to make sure they get put on the right cells. But other than that, no, Paulie Jail's got 3 guys here. I think they'll have maybe another one come Thursday. But no, they usually 3 or 4 guys can set all those cells themselves. So yeah, if you guys can, definitely be out there and kind of see how it goes together. It's pretty neat. Or if you guys haven't taken a tour in a while, it'd probably be
That'd
something.
be a good day to have a tour, wouldn't it?
Maybe not Thursday.
Maybe not Thursday.
Maybe not Thursday.
Well,
Thursday's gonna be.
You can set an inspector chair over there in the corner of the building and.
If you can set it outside the fence there and
There you
just
go.
inspect them, make sure they're doing it right.
Watch
But,
it doing.
but yeah, I'd tell anybody if they haven't seen it in a while or done a walkthrough, it's really come a long way. So
Yeah, it'd be neat to see it now and then after the pods got set and
Right.
everything, and then just see how
Yep.
it fills up the spaces like Lego blocks.
yep, it's about what it amounts to. So, you guys got any questions for me?
I don't. I don't have any.
I do not have that bid yet for that concrete. I just
Okay.
called him this morning. He was supposed to be here last week, didn't make it. He's supposed to hopefully be here tomorrow or Thursday. But once I get that, I'll get that to you guys. So,
Tell him he's already lost a week in doing it.
yeah. Yeah, he's like everybody else, just busy.
I'm sure.
Yep.
I'm
So-
sure.
Trying to get him here.
Yep,
So,
that's half the battle.
yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. That noxious weed guy. Todd, you're up.
Okay, good morning.
Morning,
morning.
Todd.
So earlier this year, the Lake Region Authority welcomed Shawnee County as a new member.
Mhm.
And so in doing that, we have to hold a hearing and then, well, we've got to publish a notice in the paper, then hold a hearing, and then we can pass the resolution to do that.
Does it just have to be published once?
It just has to be published once, and then we have to hold the hearing between 15 and 30 days after the published date. So then I'll come back in at that point for the public hearing and do that. But I just wanted to let the commission know where we're at on this, and then I'll work with Angie on getting it published and setting a date for the public hearing, and then we'll meet again.
Okay.
That's all I've got this morning.
Okay, very good.
All right? All right, thank you.
Sounds good, that's
Take care.
That was easy. I like it easy like that. Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Oh, that moved his way ahead.
Oh, we need Angie to be in here, please, or?
Yeah, that did move his way.
Watch it on YouTube or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's gonna be any action.
Well, about something.
Yeah. Takes too long. I guess, come on up, Bryson, meets Leroy Development. I guess we'll continue on. I don't think there's gonna be any action, so I think you just got information for us, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Oh, there's 2. And what's this?
Okay, thank you.
This one for Angie. So, hello. I'm Bryson Meeks. I came here December 7th in 2022 to talk about this development. I haven't been back since then. A little bit about the development. I've owned the land since 2020. The whole intent in my mind has been to develop it, to get housing to Leroy. As you can see along the highway, there's some spots for some commercial. Recently, about 2 weeks ago, I put the property, lot, I think it's 13, I put it up for sale, hopefully to seek some interest in some commercial opportunity. Going back to June of this year, the land was actually inside the county, and it was not inside the city. So the house Up in the very top corner of Lot 1, that's on city services, but it wasn't inside the city. So I went to the city to have, see if they would annex the property. So technically my mother owns the house and I own the land. So she wanted to be inside the city limits, I wanted to be inside the city limits. But according to county zoning, if we kept the house inside the county, the regulations would require the house of 5 acres. So we went to the city, since it was on city utilities already, asked them for an annexation. Finally, in October, we reached that agreement with the city. They finally moved forward with it, and they annexed the land. They asked me my intent with the land. I said I didn't have any concrete plans because I didn't. As you can tell, a subdivision requires many entities for financing, planning. You got engineers, everything like that. So it was more of an idea. So fast forward to our November meeting, they all made a motion in new business to de-annex the land. I had no idea that they were planning to do this. I asked why they planned to do this, and they couldn't really give me a reason. One of the council members said that because the land has never been inside city limits, that it shouldn't have ever been annexed anyways. So now I'm here today to seek support from the county to move forward, trying to keep the land inside city limits, which is my battle with the whole city. But I want to move forward with the development. On the property, Lot 1 is owned by my mother and her husband. The rest of the land is owned by myself and Michael Abendroth. Michael has expressed his intent to build homes. I think there's about 12 lots that are available to build on. And if he's building some here in town that, let me show you what they look like. So going back to Leroy, and really why I want to get this developed is because Leroy's population since 1980 to 2020 has dropped from 700 to 450 people, which is a very dramatic decrease. The county at the same time from 1980 to 2020 has dropped from 9,400 to 8,400, and according to the 23 census, it's about 8,200. So we're losing population at a very extreme case. And our school, luckily our enrollment is up to, and for the past couple years it stayed steady, but we don't know what the next year entails, or the next year. So to me, every other city in the county is pursuing housing. I applaud Waverly. They're trying to do the I think it's the Hex edition. Hex on the west end, which is great. Their city council is being productive. Lebo has a couple developers, good for them. Grimmett, they bought their old trailer park, tore it down, getting new homes. Michael is doing a good job here in Burlington, buying lots. Gridley partnered with the Housing Authority, which is great, and I saw Newstron might be getting a new house, partnered with the Housing Authority, which is great. Leroy is being stagnant right now. We got the triplex downtown, which was a major benefit to our community. But besides that, we don't really have any plans. I'm on city council.
You need to mention that.
Yeah,
You're
I'm on city council.
So you're part of that.
So I'm on city council, and this is my view, is that we don't have any plans for new housing. So I'm coming to you as a property owner, not as a city council member, but as a property owner, saying that I think that this would be a good project to partner with the city or bring to the city, or I'm coming here because I need help moving forward to get housing into our town. I care very much about our town. I don't want it to decrease. Everybody talks about, you say, the good old days where they remember Main Street and they remember all the businesses and the people. Well, I don't remember that because it's all gone. Change has already happened. And I would like to partner with the county and potentially with the city to bring that change back to where we have more people, which would then hopefully increase our school enrollment and bring businesses to town.
Well, for you to have and just the first thought that I think of is, aren't you gonna about have to be annexed into the city, or you're gonna have the 5-acre requirement for any development there?
So as of last Wednesday, I am inside the city limits. So to be de-annexed, they have to have a public hearing, and then the city can vote. Now, you,
I'm sorry, is all this property,
it's inside city, as of right now, it's inside city limits.
okay, and so they de-annexed number one, is that correct?
No, well, so they made a motion to de-annex 1849 Highway 58. So as of this week, 1849 Highway 58 is just Lot 1,
Okay.
because the property was separated. The rest of the remainder of the property is 85 West 6th Street. So, but to de-annex a property, two things have to happen. Is either it can be filed by petition from the property owner to be de-annexed, or the city can de-annex property valued as farmland, cropland, which I would think maybe that's what they're trying to go off of, is that it's cropland, although we have lots of property in town that is classified as cropland. So I don't know why they're singling out this property, but to de-annex property, one thing is a city cannot harm a property owner's private rights, which would mean a business. So me presenting this to you, and having Michael on the deed as well as being a property owner, and presenting the house plans, the house that you would see, if they would de-annex that, that would harbor our private rights. So in my mind, they cannot de-annex it. And I don't want them to de-annex it. I don't want the city to, why would you annex land and then cut off? I mean, even if anything never happened with the property, they're cutting off property tax that they're losing. I mean, the state gives you money and population because the house. The state gives you money based off your population for KDOT. So,
I'm having trouble understanding that there's not a reason why they're wanting to do that.
Yeah, that's
That's my question.
There's got to be a reason why they're doing that.
I asked, and I
But you're on
literally,
the city council, correct?
yeah, I am on city council,
But-
and they did not provide a reason.
But, okay,
But lots 2 through 14, that particular area is currently not annexed into.
It's all annexed.
It
The whole property is annexed.
Even including lot one.
Yep, all of it is annexed into the city limits.
And Mike Avendroff is an owner of this?
He's owner through 2 through 14.
14.
Yeah, just not lot 1.
Co-owner with you.
Yes, co-owner with me. Yep.
Does the city have the funds for the structure that would need to go into,
So
for these 14 lots?
when I came here in 2022, I got an engineer's report, and to build how this is a preliminary plat, it's not a final plat, so things can be changed. If you didn't want a road, or if you wanted sewer lines to go wherever. So just based off this preliminary plat, it's $1.5 million. The city currently in their infrastructure has over $800,000.
Yeah, but that's being set there for the sewer plant's all gotta be redone.
So, but that we're doing a KDHE loan, and the city is going to do, raise the water bill. So,
But that's not all done yet.
no,
Right?
no. I can't tell you how much the city is going to spend off of infrastructure, because we haven't even decided that. They might spend money, or they might not. I don't know, because we're waiting on BG to hear about grants, what grants we qualify for.
Right.
So I cannot speak on that. But besides that, our only other big expenses, we have to do roads, and then the water tower, which I believe is about $160,000. So,
What are you kind of proposing? I mean, you got a picture of the house here. What is this, like a 1,500 square foot home?
yeah, so, we're looking at between 1,300 and 1,500 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath, on a slab.
The problem with the way things are today is your 1,500 square foot home used to be your entry level home. And it was an affordable home, a 13 to 1,500 square foot. Well, right now, you're looking at $250,000 for a 1,500 square foot
Mhm.
home, slab home, you know, and it's not affordable for, unfortunately, it's not affordable for a lot of people, you know, and I'm not to downgrade the program, because I like what you're trying to do here.
Yeah, we
You're
all
trying to
want-
grow a town and it's hard to do that. There's too many moving parts to try to get in sync together.
Okay.
And it's tough, but, I mean, you've got the builder, you know, everybody's gotta have a partner in things, and, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was just told this morning that the triplex down there is all empty. You know, so is there any?
I don't know that.
There hasn't been a car around for 3 weeks.
Is that right?
So I
I don't know that. I can't
assume
speak on that.
and I could be wrong, but I don't think so. There hasn't been a car there for a long time.
Well, we'd all like to see development.
Mhm.
I mean, that's,
Well, that's why I didn't know. Well, and that's why I'm coming here to see if we can, I mean, obviously not today, but in time, work out something between myself, the city, and the county.
And I'm
to
not sure
work
how
with
the
this.
county could be involved in that. I'm just not sure how that, because
what our,
this is
what our place is in that.
what our place is
guess.
in that.
Yeah.
Because we're not developers.
No, I get that. I guess it would be to help with financially with the infrastructure.
But that's gotta come from the city. The infrastructure should come from the city, should it not?
Angie, any input?
History lesson for us, please.
History lesson? Yeah.
I just know that in the past, other builders and citizens in the county didn't want to see the county competing with other builders in the county.
Yeah, that's,
On roads too.
I'm sorry?
Well, I'm talking about roads.
Oh,
Roads,
roads.
I'm talking about roads, sewer,
Yeah, that
streets.
would be city,
Okay.
because,
yeah, that's gotta be city.
I would think.
I mean, the city would have to come.
I mean, you
some
brought
way
Waverly
the
up,
city
and that's
would come.
exactly where the, I mean, the
you
city's
provide
taking care of those,
infrastructure
of
money
the
too.
roads.
Right, right. Yeah, we provide infrastructure money to the cities, but.
So we get
the first one-
$113,000 a year,
Mhm.
roughly, I think.
Mhm.
That would take, I
A long
mean,
time.
15 years to support a
Mhm.
project like this. I mean,
Right.
$113,000 is not going to cover what it did 4 years ago, 10 years ago.
Exactly.
So is that also something, talking on behalf of the other cities, is that something that could be increased infrastructure money so cities can, could that be reworked where cities could, I mean, Lebo does a great, Lebo, Waverly, they do a great job. I talked to Carrie Sloan, and they do theirs towards grants and stuff like that, but I know even, they just had to raise their sales tax because it wasn't enough to support a project that they were wanting to do. So, to support a project like this, how can a small town, I mean, any small town, how could Burlington even produce a project like this financially?
It's really hard.
Burlington would have the sales tax up. Sales up here generate a lot of money with a half-cent sales.
I can tell you that Leroy gets around $60,000 a year in sales tax, which then you get infrastructure money at 113, you're only at $200,000. So, and that sales tax goes into our general. So,
Where the county took some action here 3 or 4 years ago, there was a couple of us wanting to increase infrastructure money. And I'm not gonna say it was 2 for that or 3 or whatever it might be, but through further discussion, the commission, and I supported that, was to leave the funds to the city, leave it at the same, which is $1 million. And then the recreation was, I forget what that was.
That is separate area.
It's separate, but, and then if the city had another need, another priority, and didn't have the funds for it, that the county would review what the request came in, study it, may or may not, provide some funds for some infrastructure. And that's what you're coming in for, you're asking for funds.
But he's coming in as not as.
Developer versus the city council.
yeah, I'm not coming in
Yeah.
the city, 'cause
Yeah.
I don't wanna speak on behalf of the
Yeah,
city.
no. And that's what I remember, Don said exactly what I was remembering transpired. Keep the numbers the same to the cities. If the city had a project, just like I know the city of New Strawn had something with their lagoons, they needed some extra money, So we gave them, I don't know, $150,000.
For the riprap.
For the riprap, then it come in, they gave money back because it was only costing $75,000.
Right.
So they gave us money back.
Cost you a lot less what they
Yeah.
expected.
And so,
And that gives, in my mind, that gives us more. Sometimes it seems like the money goes out and then we don't see direct result from it. We'd like to see, if we're gonna give more money, we'd like it to be something
project.
new
Oh, I agree.
versus
That's,
giving it to a city and they just keep building the fund.
that's what's so
We've had
well, and that's
issue
what's
with
so
that.
frustrating about Leroy, to me personally as a citizen, is we have $800,000 in infrastructure, and we haven't done our roads in 8 years. I personally, I don't see where this infrastructure money is going. So that's why I'm presenting a project like this, because I think that money could be spent towards that. I know the city probably has other ideas of what they could spend money on, but then also at the same time, our city, their mindset is very conservative. They hold on to that. We have $800,000. Let's hold on to that. I don't think they see that it's a revolving fund. But even then, $113,000. I mean, that could do our roads every year, and that's all it could cover. So,
Well, every 3 years, or, you know, the roads they've done a lot of chipping over the last 5, 6, 7 years. But currently, every 2 years or every 3 years, they're going in and fill the cracks in with asphalt, or liquid asphalt, whatever you wanna call it. So they are taking care of the roads the best they possibly can. You wanna look up and see how much infrastructure money they got on hand.
For Leroy.
You've got
Did
a
you
print.
say 800,000?
it's like, yeah, I mean, I can look at my phone
Oh, I
for
thought
my
it, I mean,
minutes.
I thought you just said 800,000, I'm sorry.
You,
I'm listening to you.
the city supplies us a report of what they spent the money
Yeah.
for
Do you know what,
every year.
do you know what Leroy did?
I'm not sure it's 800.
So
I don't remember what.
we have, currently in our infrastructure, we have $878,000.
And then in January, we're gonna get 56 more. So we'll have over $900,000.
I didn't realize it was near that much on reserves.
Yeah.
But you see that's, is that designated towards a new sewer?
But
Well,
not the new sewer, but to redo what they've got.
The
'cause it
lagoons?
hasn't been.
so it hasn't, the money hasn't been designated.
Yeah, pretty sure.
So we have that money and then an idea to where they come back with a report of how much it's going to cost. It could take a lot of money or it could not take very much money. It just depends on what loan we qualify for because there's different prices. And then they talked about increasing our water bill at different prices too. So it really just depends, but it will take about a 3-month study, and we did that in September. So waiting on that. But then the only other projects we had was Love Leroy presented a sidewalk project to redo all, there's 2 blocks on the highway. It was $167,000. Love Leroy offered $1,500 to the city to pay for the study, so the city didn't have any money. Once the study's done, it's 3 months. After that, the city can either go ahead and do the grant, or they cannot. They wouldn't even do that. So they're not being, the city council in itself is not being productive in infrastructure, to me. And I don't know if that's because they only get $113,000. I don't know. I can't speak on that. So, but to do a project like this, that's much needed, that's why I'm coming here to see what maybe my next step could be to do this.
I talked to Aaron after we discovered that Lebo's sewer project came in the third less than what they expected it. I visited with Aaron here last week, 2 or 3 weeks ago, to see if he could visit with the mayor up there and see who that individual was that done that project at the price he done it at, and see what they could do this project down here. Now, whether Aaron has taken that any further, I don't know the price.
Yeah. I think he did
I know
talk
the
a
cost
little,
on that sewer repair was quite expensive.
1.2.
Yeah.
So, but then KDHE says we'll get a forgiveness loan between like $400,000 and $600,000. So then the remainder of it would just be covered by the
Yeah.
water bill over the next 30 years. So, but to pay for engineering. I don't know if they're gonna use infrastructure, I don't know if they're gonna go through general, we're not at that point yet. So, I guess I'm here to ask for support for a project like this, or to see how I can move forward with something like this, or what your recommendations would be. We do need housing.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if you're not growing, you're dying, and Leroy's been pretty stagnant for a long time.
It's very sad,
Mhm.
and I don't know how to change it.
Yeah, well, you're trying and you're beating your head against a concrete wall, so it's very frustrating.
Yeah, I think you
Keep
both-
up
yeah.
keep us the hard work, but, I mean, I feel, and I'm on the outs, so I feel that the city, you get this to the city, and if they keep it annexed in, and they need support to help with some road and sewer stuff,
Then come back.
then
Come back,
then
yeah,
have the
right.
city come in
Yeah.
and say, hey, we need X amount of dollars for this project. We've got X amount of lots that are sold. This many houses are gonna be in here, and kind of weigh it, because, I mean, 30 years from now, you look like a genius, you know, but, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way I would have you pursue that, I guess, in
Yeah,
my mind.
And in my mind, it's gotta go through the city. If the city,
Yeah.
the city's got to be the one that come in for the infrastructure, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But
How was it that works when you're trying to develop something? Is it, I can't remember, we talked about this on something before, that do the builders basically give a mortgage? How was it that then it gets paid
Oh,
back off?
you did assessments on, are you talking about the assessments to the lots?
Yeah, to
Yeah,
show you.
so that's what would be done with this property. There would be an assessment to the lot, and that would be to whoever buys the property. And it would be what, basically added to their property tax. And then,
Right,
and then,
so I mean, basically, you get a lien on the property till it's,
yeah,
that
till
amount's
the
paid
assessment
back.
is
Am
paid back.
I remembering correctly?
That's what, sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm trying to remember exactly how it was, but I think that's.
But you're not gonna be carrying the loan.
No, so Mike would be the one who would be, as the builder, would be carrying the
Right.
loan. And then, once the house is built, it's sold, and then the assessments would be put back. So I'm just the property owner.
What's your thoughts on 13 and 14? Those are big lots,
Well, 1 acre, so everybody, I mean, you talk to everybody in town, they say, dang, I wish we had a Dollar General, or we had a gas station, or I want those specifically for commercial to bring business to town. It's annoying living in town and you have to go to Burlington to Dollar General to buy something, or you have to go to Iola. But I'm also, as a property owner, I'm also fine if somebody wanted to open up a vet clinic, or if somebody wanted to open, they wanted to buy it and they wanted to open up a hair salon. I don't care. We need more business in town to draw more people to town.
But you've got to have somebody wanting to do that to build. I
Well,
mean,
that's why the lot is for sale.
Right, but I know what you're wishing for, but you need to have someone that wants to do something
So,
like that.
my intent was to put the lot for sale, and I own the land, I just pay property tax on it, so it could stay for sale for however long. But my hope would be, once the infrastructure is there, I could then partner with our new economic development director, and they could help me find somebody who is wanting to, maybe it's somebody in Lebo who wants to add a second location, or maybe somebody in Texas sees it and they're like, oh, that would be a great spot for something. That would be my hope, is that whoever I partner with, I want to go directly with the economic development. So right now I have it for sale, and I've emailed Dollar General 3 times to see. I know in Kansas there's about 8 towns with less people than Leroy at 450 to have a Dollar General. So that was my thought, is them first. Nationwide, they're building 800 new stores this year. So that's why I reached out to them. But for the commercial spot, it would be, and maybe the economic development director wants to take full control of that and advertise for it and to bring new business. I'm okay with that. I don't, as the property owner, I don't strictly have to be in charge of it at all. So
How many acres is 13 and 14?
1 and 1.
They're both 1 acre.
Mhm. Yeah, they're 1.1 and a little over 1.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to keep them strictly commercial too. I mean, it would be a nice place for homes, but I want to keep it strictly commercial because Leroy's surrounded by a floodplain, and our highway only stretches so far. So, being on the highway is perfect
Mhm.
prime property for something that could go in. So,
No question.
Makes sense.
Whereabouts is this at from the stop sign, or the main intersection?
From
It's
Main
west.
Street?
Yeah, it's west and it's.
six blocks maybe.
Is it-
Catty corner to Luther.
Okay,
on the west
catty
side.
corner.
Yeah, where the Welcome to Leroy sign is,
Okay,
it's
okay.
just right there.
Luther's right north of number 1,
Okay.
and a little bit to the east.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not against going to the city and pushing this project. I mean,
But because the infrastructure is so important, or you don't get nothing done,
yeah.
the city's gonna, they're gonna play ball.
And that's my problem is that I'm one person, and even if I had a vote, I have to abstain because I'm a property owner. So I can only campaign for it so much.
Mhm.
So, and I can't tell the city how they can spend their infrastructure. I could say, this is a good idea, this will bring you property taxes, will bring you children, it'll bring you sales tax by having people live in town. But I can only advocate it for so much. So that's why I'm also coming to you as a guide to how to campaign for it, because we have so many vacant lots in town, so many. And, I mean, we don't have,
You have a need for a few more vacant lots. I don't know how else to say that.
but we don't have anybody going in there like Grimmett or like Mike here in town going in and building on those vacant lots.
Right.
So
There's
that's,
a lot of vacant lots in Leroy, but they're not for sale.
yeah, and that's the problem
The
is,
owners just don't wanna sell something next to their house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
tear-
bought it to keep it.
well, and that's where I wish the city would also realize is that we've had so many homes torn down, and you're losing money. That vacant house might have been appraised at $25,000. You tear it down, your lot is appraised at what, $3,000? So they're losing money.
Mhm.
So this is
Right.
a good investment to at least have some sort of a guarantee
Help
at,
cover some of that.
yeah. So,
This is the
Pretty
first time
tough.
we've had something to this, can't think what I wanna say, the first time we've had something like this come to us, so it's kind of a new adventure for us too. And I think we all fully support your thoughts and your ideas.
Right.
And I may sound like I'm not, but I am, to a point. But I don't think we're the point to start with, other than we might be the middleman in between.
yeah,
And where the city probably needs to find out where they're gonna spend that $800,000.
yeah,
You know, but there's grant money available for that sewer system.
yeah.
You know, it might pay half of it, might be an 80-20, probably would be an 80-20.
Well,
And if they got that, that'd free up that 800,000 for some other projects in town.
yeah. Well, and then even on this project, I'm sure you could get a CDBG or you could get some sort of grant to help with infrastructure. So I might say 1.5 million, but that doesn't mean the county or the city or whoever's going to pay for it is going to be responsible for that money. I think Waverly, they might be applying for a grant or two out there for the Hex Edition.
They are.
So,
And I don't know how that's coming along, but
yeah.
that's part of the project anyway.
Yeah, I wish Leroy was like Waverly, wanting to move forward, but
Well, we do appreciate you coming in, Bryson, and I guess as things move down the road, you know, just keep the council fully informed.
okay,
Because in my seat in January, Mark Peterson's gonna be taking over, and, you know, he's fully aware of all this stuff, because he's been sitting over there, you know,
Yeah.
for many, many years, so.
so you think I should just keep pushing the city?
That's where it's gotta come,
So how do I justify that though? I'm just asking for guidance of how do I justify that this is a good project? How can we get this accomplished by also not harming the infrastructure money that they're so protective of? I think that's the problem is they want to hold on to that infrastructure money. One of them said, what if our water tower goes out? So they use that as an excuse. So they want to keep, I say hoarding, but they want to keep a
Money
high
on
number of
reserve.
money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess that's that's the,
What if the sun falls out of the sky?
I know.
I mean, there's a lot of what ifs. Do you have an estimate of what it would cost for the infrastructure in this
So,
position?
so by this preliminary plat, 1.5. Now, does that road on the west have to be there? No, it was just added if there was an emergency, if an ambulance had to, it was just good to have it there. So, the preliminary plat can be changed. The biggest cost, well, one of the biggest costs is in the south, in the bottom, there's a lift station that had to be added, so that was a high cost too.
That's in
So,
that southeast corner, that's
right,
right here.
That's
Oh, oh.
southwest corner.
the yellow.
Yeah, okay.
So,
So 1.5 for
was,
the street and the sewer and water.
in the lift station, is what it was estimated as by BG in 2022, at the end of the year.
What I would do, I would see if there's any grants available for this project. And I don't know what you have to, you're probably gonna have to get to 90% drawings, it's probably gonna cost some money. And see what your grants are available for something like this. And see if there's an 80-20. And then if the city doesn't have it, then the city could come to the county and say, hey, we can get an 80-20 grant on this, and I'm just like I say, I'm on the outs, but that's just one way you could get it further.
Well-
80-20, the city don't have to come up with 300,000.
Exactly.
And I
Right.
said, only 300,000 took off their money.
Yeah, but still, sounds like they don't wanna put out any money, period.
So is that something that could also be negotiated to where if we're only getting 113,000, and that was based off of what, the 2007 is when that started or whenever?
We started back in, what, 1990?
Is that something that could be discussed about adjusting to today's market of
But
what that
what we
would
talked
be?
about back then, if the city come to us for a special event, the council would, or the commission would entertain
Okay.
that particular project.
Okay.
Especially.
Good.
Could
Like I
could
said.
that be then, do the cities know that? We don't know that. I mean, I know that personally, but I don't think our city council acknowledges that
They
because,
probably don't know about it.
okay.
Well,
I think all the cities basically know.
Is that
yeah,
even a letter to the cities that say if you have a project and you need financial help or whatever?
because that's how New Strong came in for,
Yeah.
for their project on, out there.
I just didn't know if that could help the cities be aware of, so we're not hoarding hundreds of thousands of dollars for what?
For you have a rainy day.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we made it pretty clear to people on, I mean, I would assume that Mark probably published what our meeting is about that day.
Did they send anything?
I don't-
Yeah.
Is that a requirement?
The city of Lebo comes in when they have a special
Amazing.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I haven't seen anything from Waverly, but.
Let's see, we spent extra money there at Leroy on the senior center. Waverly, the same thing on senior center. And Lebo, but those are a lot smaller deals, you know, $20,000, $40,000, $50,000.
So Angie said that Leroy didn't send they did not send a
No,
report?
they're the only one that did not.
So we didn't send you guys a report for infrastructure, which according to, it's required, right?
Yep.
So, it's pretty annoying.
We got, I didn't realize we didn't get Leroy's this year, but we got last, I know we've got,
We got it, I think in 2023.
yeah,
Yeah.
If they sent any,
you could tell Kim that we need that report.
you know.
But they are spending money every year,
Yeah, we got
but
it.
not to the extent that they get, so.
Yeah. So, I guess that as a citizen, that's frustrating. Even on council, I'm frustrated that we have money,
Reports, hold on.
but we don't have plans for what to spend it on. We have ideas, but,
Well, it's a balancing act. They're wanting to have some money there in case they do have an emergency, so, you know, rather than just going and looking for money when they have an emergency. So I understand wanting to have some money there.
yeah. I guess my thought is, what did cities do before the infrastructure? I mean, I would have been in elementary school, but how did the cities function at all without the infrastructure? They act like it's such a vital importance, because it is, but how did cities pave roads? How did they, I have no idea, 'cause
As you said, there was more people there
Had a
too.
lot more people, and probably didn't cost as much to do all those
Yeah.
things.
so, well,
Yeah, what's asphalt, $1 million a mile? A bunch?
so, well, I'll push the city as a citizen and a council member that this is a good project. I've always thought it was a good project. I really didn't have any concrete plans for it until, I mean, I've been manifesting about it, but until they brought up the de-annexation. I mean, that's alarming to me that any city would want to de-annex land, and I don't know if it's because they don't want to do this project and they know I want to, or if it's because, I don't know what the reasoning is, but
So do you think that they're asking to de-annex it, that they think by using that address, they're de-annexing the whole thing? You
yeah.
think that's what it is?
Well, it's because I changed the address. So under the, whatever they do in the public paper, so they motioned to de-annex 1849 Highway 58, which at our council meeting was the whole property. I went to Register of Deeds and I transferred everything, so 1849 is just Lot 1. So they would be de-annexing Lot 1 instead of the whole property.
Oh, so their
So if
intent was,
Their intent was to do the whole thing, which 1 month you annex it in October, and the following month you move to de-annex property, which this property will bring the city over $600 a year by doing, if they did nothing, it's just money. So,
yeah, just as it says.
yeah, just as it sits right now, it's $600. So,
Yeah.
well, I'll keep pushing the city, but
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
to see if this project can get off the ground.
That's what I do, and I would see what grants are available out there.
Okay.
I mean, 'cause if you can get an 80-20 grant on that, that's a no-brainer.
So do you think if there is a grant presented to the city, and then what happens if, I mean, I could present this every month, and then if I get nowhere, then what? I guess is my question.
Well, I mean, I would say it would have to come from the city
It's gonna have to be the city.
To us,
I would think, wouldn't it?
as a city-county meeting
Partnership,
partnership to
okay,
make up for some of the shortcoming of the grant,
okay,
possibly.
okay.
We kinda gotta watch the commissioners kinda gotta watch what we do, because then another city's gonna have this thing, and then they're gonna
Yeah.
come in, and it's
Yeah.
just gonna open the floodgate.
Anything we do sets
So,
precedent.
Sets
yeah.
precedents of
Okay.
everything,
So my other problem is that I could tell the county or the city that the county is willing to have talks, so to say, if we find a
Yeah.
grant or whatever, but will they take that into reality for me? Probably not.
But you need to have somebody from the city, if there's a question, they need to come in from the city and question it.
Yeah,
I mean,
if they're interested in
If
doing
they're
anything for
interested
their
in doing
city,
that.
they'd already be willing to show up.
right.
Okay,
Is my opinion.
okay. I just didn't know how to,
We shouldn't have to reach out to them and say, hey, we've got this. They should, if they want a project, they should have to come in here to us.
I agree,
That
but
makes it
you know
sound
how
like
our-
we've got
Well,
more money, we
well-
know what to do with it, and we don't.
Bryson, you can pull the YouTube video off tomorrow morning and take the YouTube video and play it on a council meeting night, and they can see the support that is.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
all support trying to get something
okay.
to
I
happen.
guess that's what I'm asking,
Right.
is the support, because, I mean, it could just be hearsay from me, and will they take that with a
Right,
grain of salt?
right.
Probably not.
Right,
So,
okay.
The other cities, and I'm not saying this is, it is precedent. The other cities, when they come to the council, or commission, it's always the mayor that comes in first. And they may have 2 or 3 council members behind him,
okay,
but it's
Or a
always,
public works
it's always the
director or
mayor
somebody.
that makes the presentation.
Mhm.
okay. Well, I'll present it to Steve, and I'll present it to the council, and I'll say that,
See what you come up with, and then
yeah, and that, I mean, you guys are at least willing to talk. I mean, that can't hurt anything.
But we've always,
Well, you've always been willing to talk,
The
but
commission has always been willing to talk, I think.
I'll make them aware that,
Okay.
because I don't know if they know that, but,
Okay.
well, thanks, I appreciate it.
Thanks for
Brian.
your efforts.
Thank you. Keep up the hard work.
Thanks.
I know it's like running through the forest with your eyes closed.
Who's that other guy?
Who's that other guy? We might as well go, he may need a break or go through, do Ryan and then take a break. We can go. You need Wade here for that?
Probably so.
Wanna take a short break then and try to round him up, or what do we need to do?
Let's take a break till 10:05.
10:05.
That'll give us 10-minute break.
How you doing, Ryan?
Not too bad. We're in now.
Just now, yeah.
Todd's gonna get with you for a public hearing.
We already have it.
Okay.
That's what.
Oh, that's what we missed?
Yeah.
Well, I seen that on there previously, and I thought Todd would bring that up, and he didn't bring that up.
That's okay.
I'm not blaming him, but
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I forgot about that too, because I'd read it before.
I will have it going in this week, so.
okay. We've got one miscellaneous motion left to do that I missed. Move to authorize direct chairman to sign notice of public hearing concerning the 2024 solid waste management plan.
So moved.
I'll second. Moved by Meeks, seconded by Knight. Any discussion? That was what Todd Bemis was here for. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. I will sign that. Okay. We are at 10:05, and it's, that guy from the Road and Bridge. Ryan Durst, you're up, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
Don't have a whole lot today. No call-outs this weekend, so pretty slow on that side of it. Really, the only thing I have is just one executive session for non-elected personnel, dealing with medical, for the board, myself and Wade, for 10 minutes.
Let me fight this thing real quick. Okay, motion to enter executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners, Road and Bridge Superintendent Ryan Durst, to discuss matters,
Oh, and county council.
and county counselor, to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel regarding medical.
I'll move.
I'll second that.
Moved by McCurry, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. We'll enter at 10:09 for 10 minutes. Okay. We are back. Clear to say no action taken on last executive session.
That was the only thing I had on my list today, so, I don't know if you guys have any questions or concerns with anything
The bridge on, what is that, Links?
on Lanks.
Is that it?
Yeah, so I've been talking with Hugh Bogle, kind of the head guy on that project. As of right now, that's scheduled to let November 2026. Sorry, November 2025. Trying to see if there's any way to get that this spring. It's not looking like it. It's looking like that'll be the earliest that it can let, but everything would be ready to go for that. But, you know, I posed the question if there's any funds available that we could go ahead and pay for it and then get reimbursed for it when the funds become available. It's not sounding like that's doable, but I don't know 100% on
So that's for the grant.
Yes, and that's for the 1.3.
Crap. I just can't, I hate to see it, because it won't be done till dang near 2027.
No, that bridge that size, I mean, that should be a 3-month
Three-month
bridge.
deal.
Yeah. Similar to the
So
ones we did
November
down there at
2020
Homestead.
November 2025.
So, I mean, more than likely, I don't know that they would
March.
probably build it until the first of the year. Depends on the weather, I guess, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's what we would have to decide if we want those funds, is to wait that long, or we move forward and build it at our dime, and that's a lot of money. I think
Well, I don't think we can, I think we can wait a year for that to be done.
Yeah,
for
no, I agree
$1.3 million.
100%. I agree 100%.
Yeah, that's pretty good dollars per day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But we,
That's the bridge going over I-35.
yeah. No, it's on north of there,
Oh, okay.
going over
Frog Creek.
Frog Creek.
Oh, far, okay.
pretty fortunate to get the funds for that.
Yeah, no, that's always good when you get some of those
No
tax
way to
dollars
cut
back,
that.
so.
That's very helpful. Very- And maybe it'll move a little faster, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I say, I know we'll have all the design work and all that will be done. They're working on finishing that up now, so all that stuff will be ready to go, so when it does go to bid, it'll be ready for bid as soon as let's put it in, so.
Good deal.
I don't think I have anything for my neighborhood.
Okay.
I don't have anything on.
All right, well, you guys have a good week.
Thank you. Have a
You
good
too.
week, Ryan.
Thank you.
What is today? Next week is the Thanksgiving dinner, is that right?
Yes, on Thursday.
Next 21st. Yeah, Wade, you got court stuff going on today, or?
Today?
Yeah, no, you don't have court today, do you?
This afternoon.
This afternoon.
Okay, and have we got a meeting Thursday for ARPA money?
What?
The Zoom meeting?
Yeah,
SEK,
they're having their board meeting down in Chanute or
Yes.
wherever it is, and
Okay.
I've not received the invitation, but I have spoken with their attorney, and,
They sent the Zoom meeting this morning.
oh, did they?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
is that something we need to take a look at?
Well, I probably need to have a discussion in executive session to discuss the potential, it's a contract issue that, I need your direction on what direction you want me to go
Okay.
with their attorney, because the attorney will be advising their board, and there may be an answer, but it has to do with the contract or agreement between the county and that board. So just, so people are aware what that is, who are watching, that has to do with, what's her name, Terry Spoon came in, she's the executive director of the Southeast Kansas Regional Planning Commission. The county has an agreement with the Southeast Kansas Regional Planning Commission related to the ARPA funds. The ARPA funds, there was an issue with complying with or filling out the audit that was required in April of this year, is that right?
Yes.
And then Angie had to do it, and it became an issue. So the issue is, two issues. One, does the county want to move forward with the rest of that agreement, which I think carries into 2026, maybe even into 2027, I don't have it in front of me. There's a yearly fee that is a part of that, and it started, did it start in 2021?
It started in 2022 is when they started, because that's when they reported for the previous year. But earlier this last year, just to refresh you, they hadn't done the reporting for 2023.
And that's when you were notified.
Yes, and the numbers were not correct in there. Now they are, and if they had been stayed incorrect, we would have had to pay back a lot of money.
Right.
But now it shows that we have not, classified $300 and some thousand, but that we will with this health department project. So,
That'll be in April of 2025.
24,
Fine.
or I'm sorry, 25, yeah, but it will be the report for
For
2020.
the last quarter of
Yeah.
2024.
So we'll need to have a discussion about my discussion with their attorney, and that would, for now, until decisions are made, that would be an attorney-client discussion. And that could probably be done in 10 minutes. I also, for right now, I'd request a 15 or 20-minute executive session with myself and the board as attorney-client, but with adding an attorney by phone, that would be Joe Serrano with Kutak Rock, bond counsel for the county. This would be in reference to legal issues surrounding, legal issues and legal advice surrounding the CID agreement related to the Vito Junction project, or the Vito Junction CID.
And we've already received, 2 quarterly funds on a CID.
You should have somewhere in the neighborhood of $200,000 in the CID account tied to the Vito CID. That was as of November 1st.
I'll move on the motion.
I'll second.
Moved by Knight, seconded by McCurry. 20-minute executive session, the board, county councilor,
Joe Serrano.
Joe Serrano via telephone. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we'll enter at 10:33 for 20 minutes.
Need to change that top line to 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Liz Marie?
Pull back on all of these.
Yep.
That was a name change.
What was the first one?
Yeah, she would have been there, but they should have checked in.
Okay.
We're getting closer.
Did you go at 10:17?
10:33.
Okay.
Does this go with that? Then?
No.
It's outside of this.
We're back, no action taken
For the present
for the
time,
present time.
some point in time in the near future, action is likely to occur regarding the CID, the Vito Junction CID, and in relation to the agreement the county made regarding to improvements related to the infrastructure of the CID in that area. But that will be something brought in the future.
We're done with our agenda. We're on roundtable still, so. Start with Mr. Wade. What else he's got?
I need to request another, catching up my executive sessions. So this one is attorney-client, this one's in relation to discussion regarding Maribel's building and legal action that the county will need to take to protect its interest in that property.
10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Probably 15. And I guess I said legal action, legal advice.
Well, I'm out. It zeroed out on me.
Need mine?
It's all right. It's coming. Motion to enter into executive session for 15 minutes to include each of the commissioners, County Councilor Wade Booth, second, to discuss matters deemed privileged in attorney-client relationship regarding Marie Bell's building and legal advice that the county will need to take to protect its interest in the property under KSA 754319.
I'll move.
I'll say it.
Moved by Thompson, seconded by Meats. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We'll enter at 11 o'clock for 15 minutes. It's 10:58.
Not that the other person couldn't be also.
All right, we're back.
No action being taken. However, as it relates to the Maribel's building, I have been contacted in reference to a party or parties that are interested in utilizing that building. I guess there are two buildings, two different addresses, but one building for our purposes. In the interim, while the foreclosure process and sheriff sale moves on, I will put something together and figure out some a negotiation related to that to see if they would be interested in bring that back to the board. Secondary issue, Steve and I at one point in time went out to that building, and there were two spots that had some evidence of leakage from the roof. The recent rain has somewhat exacerbated that and made it to the point where action will likely need to be taken to address the roof, and we're waiting on a little more information related to the roof. I'm not an expert in roofs, so I don't think anybody here is, but to address the roof and figure out whether it needs to be done as an emergency measure to protect the county's interest in that property. So in the intervening time period, those two issues will be explored, and additional information will be brought before the board and to the public so they know what's going on. But right now, don't have enough information to provide anything else.
Very well.
Outside of that, I don't have any additional information. There will be a new pay app coming out at some point soon for the jail, especially with all the things that are ongoing. Somewhere in the neighborhood of $2.7 million. That'll be the largest one to date.
Okay. Angie, if we've got to go in and do something with that roof under an emergency type, well, regardless, is there economic development is the reason, we're involved in this endeavor. Can we use some of the money that has been put in through the loans and interest and everything through economic development to pay for improvement on that building?
I would think so.
Not all of that money in there would be taxpayer money, I guess I would say, because there's interest in that amount.
And you're gonna resell the building eventually, correct?
Hopefully, yeah. So,
I would think it would be.
Ideally.
Do what?
Ideally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be reasonable.
Okay.
economic development loan. I'm assuming this is cash, the 479,000 is in that from,
Is it populated with money that's put into it for someone who comes in and requests a loan, in addition to repaying loans that are outstanding? So it's sort of the best way to put it would be it's commingled funds?
it's commingled funds of interest and reimbursing money that has been loaned out.
My initial gut would tell me that as soon as those funds are commingled, they become taxpayer.
Taxpayer money, and that's fine. Maybe a person can figure what the interest has been on it.
Sure.
You can figure all the accounts and pull what the interest paid and pull that money out at least.
But I think since it's commingled, then it's one lump sum.
Right, I understand that. But if you just say, okay, we're gonna pull the interest portion out of this, yes, somebody could still throw a fit about it, but it's pulling the interest paid back out and utilizing it on something.
You could find that figure, determine that figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Rhonda could figure that out for you too.
Well, I mean, probably already knows. Probably already got it calculated.
There's repayments back from various places you've loaned. So like, Jade Seed, EV Sports.
Mm-hmm. The car wash up there.
Yes, car wash.
I mean, you'd have to know what the interest proceeds are on those, and you at least pull the I think you can pull the interest out at least.
Those are all pretty short-term loans, so the interest on
Might
that
be pretty small.
is gonna be not very big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve, you got any roundtable?
No, sir, no, I'm good.
Don?
The only thing I might just bring up, we've interviewed 2 candidates for our economic development. I have not talked to Wade, but at some point we may make a decision to visit with those 2 candidates back or advertise for more applications.
Wade was not present in the last one.
And I apologize for that. I had another commitment. I'd originally had the original date for the interviews blocked off, but
That's fine.
Well, can we discuss anything but names through the candidates? Probably hadn't better, had we?
I mean, that's sort of a
We could,
loaded question.
hopefully Tom could be back by next week and we could set it up for next week, but that'd be.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question, whether we wanted to discuss that or wait. Be better if Tom was back. He was only here for one interview also. He missed the first one.
Mm-hmm. We have to include Rhonda.
One of the things to
Rhonda.
consider if you feel it appropriate based on the interviews is to have a short follow-up second interview.
Right.
And I can tell you when I've interviewed people, I felt the need. I've had second interviews. You don't have to do it in every situation, but sometimes it's warranted.
Well, I think we've got 2 viable candidates, is what I feel like.
Yeah.
If Tom gets back next week, we probably try to move forward.
So maybe go ahead and reserve a spot on the agenda. So it's a topic
For discussion.
related to applicants for economic development director.
And is that a executive session?
It potentially could turn into that, but initially the dialogue and discussion, I mean, if it
Right.
turns into all five say we need to have a second series of interviews,
Uh-huh.
short interviews just to clean things up, then
Yeah.
you could have that in the open if you want to go in and try to make a decision regarding the applicants, then you might want to have that.
And it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a second short interview with each of them, just to clarify some things.
So what do you want on the agenda to start? Just discussion of economic development candidates first?
You know, two economic development candidates, I guess.
Then
At least it's a placeholder
Yeah.
to talk about.
then if we want to interview them, then
We
we
could set
can
it
call one or both or whatever. Have more discussion.
How much time do you think you'd want on that?
Well, I mean, if you're keeping, you're gonna have to keep it pretty vague, so it's gonna be a pretty short discussion, I think. But, I mean,
20 minutes to
I
start?
think 20 minutes is gonna be a plenty.
I would think that would be
Okay.
what we're going to talk about.
And what we can't talk about in the open, I mean,
Yeah.
Wade's gonna have to sit over there with a gavel and smash the table if we drift off into that never land. So,
Okay, I've got it on there for 9:30. And then the canvas is at 10. So,
Canvas at 10, okay. That's all you got?
Yes.
Nolan? Mr. Thompson?
That was what I was going to bring up, whether we wanted to talk about that or not, or be better tell Tom was here if we feel we can
Yeah.
wait.
Angie?
just canvas at 10 next Monday. Tomorrow's the ballot audit. So we'll have a board here that will go through the actual paper ballots from the machines and sort them and then count and make sure the count matches. And we'll have all of that to present to you on Monday also. And then Thanksgiving dinner is next Thursday, a week from this Thursday, so.
Next starts on the 11th.
Yes, but we will need help if anyone's willing to come down and help either cut pies or, set up.
Cutting pies.
Table, chairs.
Do you have a chainsaw?
Yeah.
What time would that be? I mean,
We usually go down around 9:30, 9:45, somewhere in there. That's it.
All you got? We don't have anything but checks to sign, we still got vouchers coming around. Special issue checks. Do you have a percentage of voter turnout?
About 70%.
70%.
We had 73 in 2020. We were just shy a little.
70% in
73.
73 in 2020 and 70% this go around.
That's pretty amazing.
That's amazing, but the numbers just don't seem right from what the total voter numbers was in 2020. I'm talking nationwide,
Right.
to what they were in 2020, just last week.
Uh-huh.
Well, but we also had an extreme amount more of one party voting in the previous, in 2020, because advanced applications were automatically mailed out to everybody.
oh,
And
because
so
of
some of
COVID.
that may have dropped off a little bit.
I see.
And your total numbers for advanced voting here was 1,300-ish,
1267.
1267?
Yeah, we had like, I wanna say, close to 600 mail-out ballots last time, and this time we only had around 200 and some requests.
I see.
So that was, had decreased.
$85,000 check for Boats Construction for the basement, or for the health department work.
That prisoner cage that they put in 2021, I figured they'd be a little expensive, but I didn't figure it'd be $2,800.
I seen that, that was, these batteries are, I think these batteries are bad. and
Okay.
those-
Alright, do you need new ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever you get a chance.
Yep. And we're done moving your chairs around, so if any of you need to find your own chair, you can.
You know, this $85,000 on the health department, that total bid was $389, wasn't it? So we still got $300,000.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not a little more than that. I think it's done quite a bit of work, looks like.
If you have a chance to take a look at it, it's pretty impressive what it looks like as far as phase one goes.
Uh-huh.
Are we all done?
I think so.
Let's go, Jesse. Anybody else got anything? Speak now or forever hold your peace. We will adjourn at 11:33.
Very good.
Y'all have a good week.
Yeah.
You also.
Trump won. It's a great week.
Yeah.
Just look at the stock market. Holy smokes.
It's going down today.
Well, yeah,
It's gonna have a correction.
yeah, it's gonna have a crazy.
Gotta go after it.